Hey everybody, I'm Sean with Culture for Good. We're talking about our affiliate program. This is our amazing affiliate, Drew, who has agreed to just share a little insight, little perspective, share some of, I don't know, some of the things that he does with Culture for Good and how he's, enjoys doing what he does in so many different ways in his life and helping others. And obviously, he's a great fit for Tylene and I. We love working with others who are trying to help people out, whether it's anyway, whether it's their health, just lift them up as human beings, being the light, however you want to share it, explain it. But Drew, welcome. Thanks so much, man, for coming on and just talking a little bit about our affiliate program and just maybe start out with talking a little bit about you, man, and who you are.
Sure, yeah, that'd be great. And thanks for having me. This is amazing. We're in an amazing place with this Culture for Good now, and really looking forward to what 2025 in the future holds for us. So, one of the things that I do is that I'm a what you call a coach that helps people operate more consistently in elevated states of consciousness. So, in other words, I just help people allow themselves to generate and sustain the emotional frequencies they choose to operate within. There's all sorts of science about that. We won't get into that. But that's one of the reasons that I love Culture for Good, because your product line falls right in line with all of that. And so, I've been doing that for quite a while. And when I saw what you guys had to offer, and I should start with where I met you. I
Sure.
met you with another company. I was buying products. I wasn't building a business. I'd been in the, network marketing business for quite a few years. Let's just put it that way. Had some successes, not some successes, but the old company was an old binary, and they had a good product or two at the time. And I was buying the products, but I looked at their binary plan and I knew I was going to have to work way too hard to make any money in that binary. So I just said, well, I'm just going to buy the products. I'm not going to really even tell anybody about anything. And then you guys came up on stage at one of their events and told me about digestive enzymes, which I had not really paid much attention to in my lifetime, even though I've been around, the health industry or the nutritional industry for a long time. I really never heard much about digestive enzymes or enzymes in general. And at the time, it was 4 or 5 years ago now, so I think I was, almost 60, 59, whatever I was, and I was experiencing gut health issues, IBS, all the stuff that most people experience as they get older. And, I'd never really been, heavy or overweight or any of that, but I was having these gut health issues that I couldn't figure out what was going on. And simultaneously, I was starting to get the itises,
Yeah.
symptoms of the itises, my
Yeah.
hands and my elbow. I'd always had to wear a back brace for a couple of years prior to meeting you guys. And my right knee was so bad that I thought I was going to be a knee replacement candidate. So I started using the digestive enzymes. And then a few months later, you guys introduced through that company the proteolytic enzymes and the CBD spray. And in between that time, I've done a lot of research myself on CBD and understanding more about it, because at that time, I just thought CBD was a marketing ploy, right? Just get people to smoke more weed, whatever it was, right? And so anyway, I started doing those two, and within 5 months, I was symptom free.
Yeah.
5 months,
Amazing. Yes.
no more issues. And so that hooked me. A couple of years ago, you guys, for whatever reason, decided to go out on your own. So I got a hold of you and I said, what do you guys got going on? Because I want your products.
Right.
So here we are. And boy, are we in the right place at the right time.
Yeah, I mean, and thanks for sharing, man. It's super cool always to hear this, the stories of how lives have changed, obviously physically, health-wise, which takes, and then you go into, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, it's all one thing.
It
But man,
is.
when you don't feel good or you're just not feeling we forget how we felt 100%, right? And sometimes that's whether that's age, whether that's an injury, whether it's just bad habits, but it's, how can we help people be the best version of themselves? Really, it's really kind of been our intention for 20 some years now. And at the same time, Drew, like you mentioned, we wanted a way that we could help people spread the word more, right? And so how do you do that? You pay them. You reward them. You give them a piece of the revenue that's created or generated by helping other people. But it needs to be simple, right? And that's why we just wanted a simple pay structure, or in a simple, I don't know, affiliate program, referral rep, whatever you want to call it. But talk a little bit about that, man. You've seen some of these other things, but I think that was something that you kind of liked.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I've not only seen them, I've experienced them, right? Now, don't get me wrong, had some successes, particularly with one back in the late 90s, early 2000s, tremendous success with a binary plan. But man, was that a lot of work, and it was time, 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 time. It was fun, but when that went away, for lots of reasons, it doesn't matter why, we kept looking. I kept looking. A bunch of us kept looking for the next, what is the next thing? And there's all sorts of them out there. But every time I started digging into that pay plan, because of my experience with the old binary and what it took, I just kept looking at it going, it's going to take forever to make any money with this thing. And then it could all fall apart real quickly, especially with binaries, because one leg just goes to sleep or
Yeah.
whatever happens.
Yeah.
So when I saw what you guys were doing, with an affiliate program, 35% on your personal sales, and then, you built in a little bit of a network plan where you go 5 levels, you go 35, 10, what's 35, 10, 5, 2, and 2.
Yeah.
I said, wow, that's simple. I mean, you could literally build a business finding one really good person,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
I said, well, there you go.
Well,
No matter what, I know I can find one person with these products, for sure, if not more. And so, you guys had to get the technology in
yeah.
order, which
Oh
was,
yeah. That was
that's all
fun.
right. Hey, in the meantime, we learned a lot. You guys grew
Yeah.
with more products. We got incredible products that fall right in line with people operating at higher levels, if you will, just functioning at more optimal levels and having all the neurotransmitters fire and all the stuff that makes people feel good. We've got a one of a kind line here that nobody else has. And I have now talked to several experienced functional plant medicine people, as you know, and they're all just going, where has this been? Where has this line been?
Right? I mean, Drew,
Yeah.
it's like we want to just shout it to the world, right? We got to get on the rooftops, shout it. You're going to start now. You're starting to do some TikTok. You're shouting it on TikTok. We talk a little bit about that, but it's really just for those who are watching a binary. When Drew's talking about a binary, that's more of a kind of a compensation plan that goes with a lot of the network marketing type companies. Some of them utilize that. And he talked about one team or one leg, and that's difficult. You're having to balance things, you're having to qualify by doing this, and then your people have to do that. And then I think the biggest thing, besides not having to do any of that with us, is this fictitious monopoly kind of point system, this fake money thing. So when you mentioned 35%, we want people to realize it's really 35% of the dollars. It's not some silly percentage of some fictitious point system, which ends up paying the affiliate far less money. And people don't even realize that. So we're excited to share that and shout that to the world. But, I don't know if you want to comment on that. And then certainly maybe talk a little bit about what you've started to create on TikTok, man. I think the beauty about what we do, you've been doing things all, in person and different things and meeting people and reaching out. But talk a little bit about whatever you want to talk about. But I just wanted to bring those up.
Well, sure. I mean, the thing that I really am impressed with, just because I've been in marketing and sales for so long, and I'm going to start here because it's free. To
Yeah.
become an affiliate, it's free. Because I get that all the time. It's like, well, how much does it cost to sign up? Nothing.
Right.
Unless you want to pay me something for it, right? It opens up so many possibilities. One of the things that people in the network marketing industry have really been trying to penetrate into with their products, and it doesn't matter what company, what products, whatever, is fundraising. Everybody's trying to get, hey, this product is great for fundraising, blah, blah, blah. The problem is cost, typically with other companies, it's going to cost the company or the nonprofit money to be an affiliate or whatever, right? Distributor. And then they got to qualify. So every month they got to order something. And you don't have to do that here to get 35%.
Yeah, you don't have to buy anything.
You don't have to buy anything. So the nonprofit doesn't have to buy anything. Here's the other thing I love about it. What does everybody that supports a nonprofit have in common? They all eat food. That's right. And most of them have digestive issues if they're an adult. And now it's starting to, as we know, it's starting to happen earlier and earlier and earlier in life. So we have these digestive enzymes that are a natural fit for a fundraiser, right? So that's just one example of the potential markets that we can penetrate. And I'm just getting started on TikTok. I'm just learning it. I'm just now learning that we can do videos on this platform, and that's great because I'm not, a tech guy. But there's so many avenues available to health professionals. Again, it takes some skills, right? But they haven't seen these. They don't know these products even exist. They don't know, the CBDs that are on the market, for example. Every one of them tells me, well, I've got this one or that one. They're all not very effective. Well, we've got one that is really effective, right? So it's endless. It's endless the possibilities. It really is.
Drew, what would you say to, the first question would be, what would you say to someone who has never done anything like this before, meaning they believe in good health, they believe in helping, they like helping other people, but they just have not done something like this. Can you maybe share something with them that might get them to say, you know what, let me try this?
Congratulations. You didn't have to waste your time with anything else. That's what
Yeah.
I would do.
Perfect. You got to start with the best. I like it.
Yeah, if you haven't done it before, there's probably a red flag that told you not to do it. And, good for you. This is a different animal. It's a completely different animal. Do your diligence.
Of course, the other part two of that kind of question to say is all those out there with direct selling, MLM, network marketing, PTSD, that they just were in the wrong place or with the wrong company or the wrong people or whatever. What do you say to those folks compared to what they've probably been involved with, which most have. Most haven't had such a great experience. So for those
Yeah.
people, we want to share with them that this is here and it's not one of those.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple of things, I guess. Number one is this company has, I don't know, I'm going to say 7 lead products. You could start a business because everyone's looking for that lead product, right?
Mm-hmm.
What do I lead with in this industry? They're all looking for, I need this great product. It's my hook. This
Yeah.
product is going to be my hook.
Yep.
And that's going to do the selling for me. That's what most people in this industry are, they're looking for or have been using or whatever. We've got about 7 of them. So take your pick.
Yeah.
That's the first thing I would say. The second thing I would say is it's the culture, man. It's the culture. It's the vibe. The reason I'm here is because of you guys. It's your energy. You guys are high vibration people with integrity. And I knew that when I saw you first on that stage while I was watching that video, however many years ago that was. I could read it, right? Because it's one of the things that I do. So
Yeah.
I read it right away. And those guys are the people I want to do business with. So I would say those are the 2 big differences.
Thank you. Well, we appreciate that. And I think when Drew's saying those, that's Tylene, my amazing other half.
Yes.
She's fantastic. And, we've been doing this a long time, 20 some years, and mostly with health practitioners in the beginning. We were more of a doctor kind of product line. And Drew's, you're mentioning, 7 products or whatever that people kind of the main things that people run with. And there's actually probably like 40 products, and there's so many different things that people can look at. And we're excited, man. We're super excited. In this day and age, this time and going now in 2025, it's exciting. And people want to be they're more open, right? They want to be more preventative with their health. And then some people want to just make sure, what can I do to help my body repair itself if they're already dealing with something, you know, and maybe someone will never feel 100% again, but they won't feel 20% or 30. Let's get them to 50. Let's get them to 70. Let's get them to 80. And that's what it's all about. And that's, to me, it's first and foremost, right? And so, you know, I'm freaking getting up there a little bit now. I'm 60, but I feel like I'm 30, you know, and I say that not to impress anyone or exaggerate, but I'm sincere when I make that statement, and I base that on the people that I'm around at different times. I'm talking about my energy level. I'm talking about my mood. I'm talking about my physical ability to run around like a silly guy and do silly things and play pickleball or run up a hill or play with the grandkids. Man, I just, it's so important. We do forget what it feels like to feel really good. And so that's really the whole intention here. Let's help people help themselves, and let's help people by compensating them to help others. But man, that's pretty much all I have, Drew, unless you want to throw anything else in here. I don't want
I'm
you.
going to throw something right on top of that because I'm 64 now.
Look
And one
great.
of the things that I do is I drive a pedicab. Most people call them rickshaws with a trailer on the back, which means, and I'm at the University of Michigan, which means I haul students around campus on a pedal assist cab, if you will. So I do a lot of work. When
Yeah.
I'm hauling, I can have, up to 25 people in that thing sometimes.
Woo.
So it's a lot of weight. Last year, during the winter, I should say, last February, I think it was, the students do something called Winterfest, and it's basically a fundraiser for the sororities and the frats. And they have a broom ball tournament at one of the frats, and it's an all-day event. And it's just, aside from football games at the
Yeah.
University of Michigan, so this is one nonstop from 7:30 in the morning till about 5 o'clock at night, and then they go to bed and they go back out. So it's about a 23-hour day,
Wow.
roughly. And when we get done with those days, we can hardly move. Like, I remember thinking to myself, my God, I'm going to be so sore tomorrow because I got home and every muscle in my body was, I could hardly walk, right?
Man.
So I thought to myself, when I go to bed, I'm just going to, okay, so just remember this. When I wake up, go slow. Just go slow. No fast movements. Because
Yeah.
remember, I was a knee replacement candidate, right? So not too long ago. So I got up and I consciously I slept for about 8 hours, whatever. And I just constantly went slow and I stood up and I got nothing.
Yeah.
I was not sore at all.
Yeah.
And everybody I work with who's at least 20 years younger than me couldn't move the next day.
Yeah.
So, and they all said, you're lucky. I go, no, 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 no. I
Yeah.
know what I'm doing. I'm taking these products.
Yeah. Yeah. It's amazing, man. It's amazing what the body can do when given the chance.
Yeah.
And you know, we're talking about plant enzymes, we're talking about hemp or CBD, we're talking about mushrooms, we're talking about whole food, we're talking about things that are not chemically created as a either prescription medication or an over-the-counter drug, right? That maybe people pop all day to maybe they're sore, right? And they want to get rid of inflammation, but now they cause, you know, now their stomach or liver's bleeding because they don't know what they don't know. And that's why we're here, man. We need your voice, Drew. We you know, all of us collectively, that's what this is all about. And so, you know, Tylene used to joke about the enzyme army and these things, but it's really just sharing information, true information, you know, that we've now been preaching for 20 some years and now more recognized, obviously, and all the kind of fun, big things we've done in our lives along these lines with this business and helping others. The best part is what we're doing right now. It's just everyday people like Tylene and I. It's not, you know, we've done the NBA and the NFL and NHL and blah, 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 all these big deals and big things and big companies where we got to meet you. But it's really about just, man, let's just help people. Let's just help people, man. People that, whether it's their kids or their parents or their siblings or their friends or whatever it is, we say we need your voice because we believe that's the message. That's how the message will be communicated, right? It's people to people sharing true stories, right? Facts tell, stories sell in a way, because the light goes off and someone says, I think maybe I should try that because I was messing with my knee. I thought I was going to have a knee replacement or a gut issue. And most people, Drew, don't even realize, right? And as you know this, they don't even realize they have a gut issue. So all of a sudden it's there, and now they really have to deal with something where all they got to do, we're just trying to prevent those things from happening, because prevention is so much simpler, so much easier than, repairing. We're all into repairing, all good, but let's prevent. Let's kind of have that physical insurance plan, right? Let's not just put things in our bodies all the time that are not really going to, we want to help, and we're not perfect. And this isn't about eating perfect. This isn't about doing everything perfect, but it is about most of the time knowing you're making these good deposits, whether it's food, whether it's, supplementation, good supplementation, these deposits into the body that are truly helping us out, which we won't go into now because we don't have the time, but we'll have to talk again. But then there's all the other side of things, the energy, the frequencies, the spirituality, the emotion. I mean, there's a lot of pieces, and everyone comes from a different place, and everyone has a certain perspective already, and we're products of our environment. And so one little thing at a time, we just meet people where they are, Drew. Just meet them where they're at, right? And then you can't take them way over here to way over there immediately, right? But you can just take them from here to here, and then it goes to here. And then all of a sudden they're like, oh my gosh, this thing's really doing something for me. And then they go to here, to here, to here. And then they kind of get emotional, they get excited, and they just want to help others. That's what it's all
Yeah,
about.
exactly. Yeah, for sure.
Anyways, man, totally appreciate you. Have an amazing rest of your day and a glorious weekend. And we will be chatting in the very, very near future. We're excited to see what you do. We're grateful for you, that you're a part of Culture for Good. And we want more Drews. Help us get more Drews, Drew. Thanks so much, man.